and weighed in at 155 pounds. One loss with 5 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Fidel, the Power Hernandez. And his opponent, fighting directly across from him out of the blue corner. He's wearing the black trunks with white lettering and weighed in at 154 pounds. Coming to us from Augusta, Georgia, he is undefeated with 9 wins and 4 of them coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Brendan Mitchum. Once again, your referee in charge, Al Munoz, now to give the instructions.
First of all, I want a good, clean fight, guys. Remember, if you fall 3 times in 1 round, the fight's over. The mandatory count is in effect. All right, let's have a clean fight. Shake hands.
As we take a look at the Budweiser tail of the tape, both these fighters 20 years of age, and Hernandez giving away 3 inches to Mitchum. Hernandez just a pound heavier, and the reach is very comparable. Let's take a look at the rules here in the state of Arizona. 10-point must system is in effect. The 3 knockdown rule will be in effect, but there won't be a standing 8 count. The fighter can be saved with the bell only in the last round. The referee is the only one who can stop the fight. The headbutt rule, we go to the cards after 3 rounds, and we are set to go. Mitchum and Hernandez. And Rich, you know what strikes me here? Even though it's in the 90s outside, it's rather cool in here, and both these fighters come in here rather cool.
Yes, on Brandon Mitchum, you can see obviously that he has not broken up a sweat. I don't know if he warmed up in the dressing room at all before the fight, and I think both these guys want to get off to a quick start, Barry, in terms of trying to dictate the style of this fight, because I think the style is going to be very important in determining who's going to be the winner. Mitchum wants it to be an outside fight, and wants to fight at long range and box, and Hernandez strictly is a close-in guy and wants to be there tonight.
And I think that's a real must for Hernandez. If he's going to have any chance, he's got to get inside of Mitchum. Mitchum very sharp with his punches, still learning as he goes along. He too has had a couple of scares, but has managed to get away unscathed thus far.
Mitchum is fortunate enough to have the wisdom, great training techniques of Eddie Futch, Del Torrance in his corner, as well as his father, Randy, who was a former fighter, but there's no doubt that Randy takes a back seat to Eddie Futch in that corner. Who wouldn't?
Both fighters really sharp early in this fight, both scoring pretty heavily inside. Yeah, Eddie Futch at 90 years of age is still imparting that wisdom you spoke of. And fighters like Brandon Mitchum have the good sense to listen. Nice combination from Mitchum, upstairs and down.
Yes, I think your comment about him being sharp is right on, Barry. He has come out, although he's cut now over the left eye. Mitchum got caught, and he just got cut over the left eye, and that could, being this early in the fight, could prove to be a factor.
And it was a punch and not a headbutt, and it was a clean right hand by Hernandez that did it. So there'll be some work to do in the corner of Mitchum. And a little blood from the nose of Hernandez as well. Both fighters connecting a high percentage. Good right hand again by Hernandez. Very competitive first round.
Yes, the blood is coming down the left side of the face now. Mitchum bleeding pretty strongly. I'm seeing a scrape now above the right eye of Fidel Hernandez as well. These 2 guys are getting banged up. I mean, they're going to be definitely showing the scars from this one. A tremendous very uppercut inside by Hernandez, who is succeeding here in getting to Mitchum early.
Al Munoz stopping the fight momentarily, taking a long look at the cut over the eye of Mitchum. And as we said, there's some work to be done, and you can't always stop a cut like that in the space of 1 round. It sometimes takes 2 or 3. Good right hand, and that buckled the legs of Mitchum.
Fidel Hernandez comes in here with an 11-1 record and a good reputation.
It's another good right hand, and now Munoz is going to have the doctor come in, and I'll tell you what, that will help Mitchum, even though there are only 15 seconds left in the round.
But remember now, if this is ruled to have come from a punch, and that's what we saw, we did not see any headbutt. If they stopped the fight, he would just be a TKO loser, Mitchum. If the ruling is, we'll find out after the round that it came from a punch and not a headbutt.
Well, it clearly looked like a right hand. I'm certain that I saw that as a punch. Now, the question is not how we saw it, but how did Al Munoz see it? Big round, and a very good round for Hernandez. We're going to go into Mitchum's corner now, and as we said, work to be done, but there's no better people to do it than the people he has.
They don't have a stool in the corner. They do not have the stool in the corner of Brandon Mitchum, which means that they cannot begin work on that cut. That is some terrible planning in that corner, and they've lost maybe 15, 20 seconds, Barry, of working on that cut.
That is a big problem, and I'm not sure that it was a problem of the corner. I think the corner is sort of looking at the commission saying, isn't it your responsibility to provide this? I don't think they had a chair there.
Keep moving both ways, left and right. Don't stand in front of them. Get underneath, and when you roll, come up punch. Roll under that right hand.
All right, let's take a look and see if we can see. There's a left hand inside that might have opened up the cut, although it appeared as though he might have brushed that punch aside with his glove. But there was no indication of a headbutt from Al Munoz. Although it was very calm in that corner from Eddie Futch. You can always count on that. It's not an excited corner over there, not panic-stricken.
But again, your point well taken. They really didn't get a chance to do a lot of work on that cut. And Hernandez is going to try to jump on him right now.
Remember we talked about who would be able to dictate the style of this fight. Would Hernandez be able to get in close, do damage, get within punching range of an outside fighter, Brandon Mitchum? And he's able to do that.
He's really found a home for that right hand. And the cut starts to bleed again. Another good short right hand by Hernandez. Hernandez is very sharp in this fight.
And this is his home area, so he's comfortable. He came into this fight feeling he had everything to gain and nothing to lose, and that the only person really was Brandon Mitchum that had anything to lose in this fight.
Well, he's a guy who's had all kinds of contractual problems. He's still embroiled in a contractual dispute with left hand that time by Hernandez. He's got Mitchum hurt, I think.
Mitchum's a little befuddled. He's got a very furious attacker right in his face here, and he's a little worried and a little disconcerted about how to put him off. He could start with that jab, but it's not effective, Barry. He's not keeping Hernandez away from him.
Now the left hand of Hernandez is starting to find a home.
Now Mitchum is trying to punch here with Hernandez, and that's a mistake. He should be moving and jabbing.
Which is exactly what Eddie Futch told him. Don't stand in front of him.
Let him go.
Hernandez is just walking to him, and Mitchum is willing to slug with him, but there was a headbutt, but that may be the wrong strategy to employ.
And the thing about Hernandez, he's not going to go away. I mean, this is a guy who has been in a couple of 12-round fights. He comes in here in very good shape. Another good left hand. Hernandez clearly the stronger of the two.
The voice you hear frantically screaming in the background is Brandon Mitchum's mother, who's over there trying, and she's walking around, and she's not in a calm state at this point.
As you might expect. And again, there will be some work to do on that eye of Brandon Mitchum. And again, a combination from Hernandez. This is a big round for Hernandez. And it's going to be a long way back, I believe, for the prospect from Augusta, Georgia. Brandon Mitchum here as Fidel Hernandez has given him all he's wanted and a little bit more. And there's another headbutt. We've had a couple of those.
Without the jab, you come and hitting your head, so that's no foul on anybody. Let's go.
And they touch gloves, and we'll continue. It was an accidental headbutt, both ducked in.
Mitchum trying to get his jab to work now. If he could do that, it would help him in keeping his opponent away from him and off at long range. Brandon is a fine boxer. He had a tremendous amateur career. He was a finalist in the Olympic box office and only lost to Fernando Vargas by a disputed decision in the finals. A very, very close fight. But he is having trouble keeping a real tiger off his tail here tonight.
Well, and you pointed it out earlier, he's letting Hernandez fight. Hernandez is fighting. And even there, all Mitchum got the better of that exchange. He's still in Hernandez's zone. And the blood again from the eye. Mitchum.
Mitchum beginning to find the range himself a little in this round, though. And he's got Hernandez backing up a little. Hernandez, when he's coming forward, really fights much better.
And another headbutt, at least according to Mitchum. And now a serious cut over the eye of Hernandez. That is every bit as bad as Mitchum's cut, maybe even more so. And that one, I think, was caused by the headbutt.
Probably was. It came just moments after they were broken by referee Al Munoz.
That one is a very serious cut, and the blood is getting right into the eye of Hernandez. And now there'll be a little desperation on both sides here.
But this is key. This round has a minute to go. For them to go to the scorecards, if the fight is stopped by a headbutt, the third round must be complete. If they stop this fight before the end of the third round, it would be a technical draw.
Hernandez trying to wipe the eye in close quarters. And backs up Mitchum with the right hand. And the clock in the corner of your screen, all important.
All the way back. Don't swing. Don't swing. Let's go. Come on.
Hernandez definitely wants to make it through the round, figuring that he would probably be ahead on points, at least at this juncture.
Well, he is on both of our cards. Both fighters are bloodied, both unbowed.
I do think Mitchum has done a much better job in this round, though.
But this fight is going to finish the third round, and thus, should it be stopped, will be decided on the cards.
Good boys.
Number 4 now, Hernandez and Mitchum. Hernandez with the red stripe, Mitchum in the all-black trunks, and it has been a war. Both fighters have been cut, both rather seriously. The fight goes on. Incidentally, Al Munoz did tell us between rounds that the second cut was, in fact, caused by a headbutt. So if the fight is stopped, we would go to the scorecards.
Well, that would be if it stopped because of the cuts of Hernandez.
Right, exactly, yes.
If it stopped because of the cuts of Mitchum, it would be a TKO victory for Hernandez.
That's right.
There's a lot going on in this fight.
And again, Hernandez with a left hand. And again, a headbutt. And now we got a timeout, and that one opened up that cut again over the right eye of Hernandez. And there have been 3 rather serious headbutts in this fight.
How you feel, Fidel? Well, they both have about the same.
Same?
Yeah, I think he can go on.
Just take a look and see if we can pick up that headbutt now as they banged heads about 4 times. That's a very bad clash of heads, and it came with a side swipe of the head. You don't often see it in that fashion.
But again, that would tell you that Mitchum is fighting Hernandez's fight, because he is laying in there with him. Now, as you pointed out, Mitchum did have a better third round.
Brandon is the better boxer, but there are times, like right now, that he's abandoning the boxing skills and looking to punch with Hernandez. It's a gamble on his part.
Combination again and again. Mitchum was wobbled.
All the way back. Don't swing. Don't swing.
Mitchum with a right hand.
I'm hoping Brandon's mother can make it through the fight.
Can you imagine? That would be a very tough chore, watching your son get bloodied in a fight that you know is a very close fight.
Brandon Mitchum is only 20 years old, and he's been fighting since he was 5 years old. His dad was a boxer. He used to go to the gym with his dad.
Good combination again by Hernandez, and again it rocked Mitchum. And another good right hand, right on the button. And now Mitchum holds on. Again, a left hand almost took Mitchum off his feet.
He's looks a little bit wobbly to me, and his face is beginning to look somewhat jaded to me at this point.
Mitchum holding on much more than he has.
I want to point out that Mitchum has been knocked down. Another headbutt.
And not only do those cause cuts, they hurt.
Yeah, but Hernandez can't just walk away like that, and because Mitchum was ready to pounce on him. I want to point out 3 fights back, Mitchum was knocked down by a fighter named Macia Canas in that fight, and he got up to win the decision, and he showed some heart and grit in that one. But he's certainly been tested. This is a red-hot fight here, Barry.
Terrific fight so far. Going to take you now back into Brandon Mitchum's corner.
Good round, Brandon. Okay, baby. Hey, Phil. Huh? Hey, Phil. Huh? Let me get that. Yeah. Good, baby. Okay. Going real good. You're going real good. Don't pull away from him. Don't pull away from him. Get underneath. Go to the side. And keep backing him up. Keep backing him up. If you give him room, he get those punches up. How you feeling? How you feeling, son? Come on. Dig down. He don't like it downstairs either. He does not like it. Tough fight.
Last couple of rounds been filled with clashes of headbutts. There you see one there, clash of heads. Both fighters felt that one. Both pointed to their heads, no doubt about it. There was one later on in the round. Hernandez just kind of walked around. I sensed some concern from Brandon Mitchum's father there in the corner.
It's been a brutal fight so far. I think it's interesting, too, the advice that we heard in that corner was stay inside with him, try to dig uppercuts. They apparently feel that he could fight Hernandez on his terms.
Well, I think what they want him to do is to back Hernandez up, because Hernandez does not fight as well going backwards as he does. When he picks up momentum coming forward there, he really gets it together, and he punches very hard. So they want him to move Hernandez back.
Hernandez only lost, came in a 5-round fight. He has since put together a streak of 4 in a row, including a state championship here in Arizona.
That loss was to a very good fighter by the name of Dwayne Tiger Williams, who we've seen in Los Angeles and who is fighting very well and coming up, and is a very hot prospect, so no shame in losing that one.
Mitchum got Hernandez turned around.
The first minute of this round was very good for Brandon Mitchum. He's putting his punches together well, and his punches seem, in this round, Barry, to be taking some effect on Hernandez.
Well, it's been one of those fights where both guys have been on the gas the whole fight.
Brandon showing some movement here, some nifty footwork, using the jab. I like what he's doing in this round.
I sense a little bit of fatigue getting into Hernandez at the moment. They stopped him with a left hand there.
But he, he's dangerous. He looks like he's got a heavy punch, Barry, but he's only got 5 KO wins in his 11 fights.
Don't swing, guys. First warning, okay?
Oh, got a little of everything in this one.
Yes. There's not going to be any point deduction. Now Munoz just said that's the first warning.
Real low blow.
Now this is really turning into a bloodbath.
Don't go hurt each other. Okay, here we go. Let's go.
They touch gloves. They will continue. It's been this way right since the opening bell. Very even round here. May still be there to be won. We'll be back.
When there's too much.
Well, rounds 3 and 4 were dominated by headbutts, but look at that low blow landed by Hernandez in round number 5.
And then Mitchum came back with a low blow of his own. So this fight has been even in every respect. Each has a low blow, each has a headbutt, each has a cut. Final round, and the fight may still be there to be had. Now, it's interesting. Hernandez's people were saying they wished that they had 8 rounds. I have an idea they may be glad it's 6.
Well, you know, I think the reason they're thinking that, Barry, is because his last 3 fights, Hernandez has fought 12 rounds, 12 rounds, and 8 rounds. So he's much more accustomed. Mitchum's never had over a 6-rounder. So they wanted the fight to be a little bit longer. But these guys have expended so much energy. Man.
Stiff left hand, and again, it wobbled the knees of Mitchum. And another right hand, and a left behind it. And Mitchum is in trouble.
He's a little bit wobbly, and it came out of the southpaw stance, which I thought Hernandez really hadn't been very effective with in this fight, but that certainly was a great shot.
And another one backed him up. They want Hernandez right on him now. As Mitchum doesn't have a lot of legs left here. That was caught on the glove.
Mitchum showing quite a chin in this round. He has been wobbled on a couple of occasions.
And now he goes down, really just, he never did hit the ground. Never did hit the ground.
Referee, remember, can call a knockdown if it's felt by a referee that the ropes were the only thing holding him up.
And clearly that was the case. Mitchum will do well just to survive. He has no legs at all. And Munoz taking a long look and calls it off. Well, I'll tell you what, Mitchum looked pretty done to me. I can't question that stoppage.
That's quite an upset here, and the first defeat for Brandon Mitchum. His father is very angry. The fight didn't have very much longer to go, but nonetheless, he was really being hit, and he was being hurt in that last round.
Yeah, he had absolutely no legs, and that near knockdown really was not caused that I could see by a punch. It was just an accumulation. Fight stopped, then the winner is Fidel Hernandez.
We are at the fabulous Foxwoods Resort and Casino in Ledyard, Connecticut for a dynamite welterweight doubleheader. Tonight in the square ring, coming from the Foxwoods Theater, Ike Corte defends his WBA welterweight championship against Jose Luis Lopez. It's scheduled for 12 rounds. And in the co-main event, 6-time world champion Pernell Whitaker against the very tough Russian Andrei Pestriev, also scheduled for 12 rounds.
Where's the judge?
And let's see if Whitaker can make the statement that he has promised the media here in Connecticut he will do, coming off the loss to De La Hoya.